Hey everyone, Lauren here with our first May design team project. So I thought I'd get some mixed media on because it's me. And if you've seen my prep video, you've seen I pulled out a whole pile of shades of pink, and I thought it might be nice to use them all on one layout. So I'm just putting a few, well not a few, but I'm just putting a dab of them everywhere on the side there so that they're ready to use. And that way I can just get painty with it. I've just got a few of the Flutterby paints, and this one's one of the Vicky Boudin that I could barely get any out, so I've tipped it upside down for a bit. But any paints really is gonna just do if you've got some in your stash. You could do it with different colours, but I thought it would be nice to just do it with the same colour and have different tones of the pink. And as you see, apparently I had a billion different tones of them, so it worked out well. So I'm just using the paintbrush, using the same one, not changing it, like cleaning it in between, and I'm just putting some colour here, there and everywhere, kind of in a random kind of look. So just putting it on. It's nothing, too technical. It's just fun to have a play with, and really a lot of it's going to get covered up, so it might look like too much when you're painting it on, but once you add your photo and some embellishments and a title, you don't have as much to look at, so it's nice little pop on the background. This was inspired by that paper that we got in the kit that is all different colours and painted on a bit like this, I would imagine, or at least that's how I think it happened. So I'm just getting out some white, just because I thought it might be nice to add a little bit of white to it. Well, one, to get that colour, but two, to add a bit of white to some of the other colours so that it made some more tones, because we didn't have enough apparently. So on it goes, and I'm not going right to the edges, but close enough. I just don't want it to, I just want to have like a bit of a white border around so that I don't have to draw a doodly border or anything. Now, it'd be nice to let this dry for a bit and then do some stenciling probably over top. You could even use the same colours, use pink on pink. That would be nice, or just using some white modelling paste or something like that might be fun. But I didn't feel like it this time. Kind of thought about it when I was editing the video, I guess. I don't remember if I thought about it when I was making it. I guess if I'd thought about it, I probably would have done it. Anyway, so I'm going back. I got some of this bright Vicky Boudin pink out, that it was upside down. I was able to do it. I'm just going to add it over top of some of the spots where I got before, and then add in a few more different places. And at this moment, that's all I had planned for the layout. I just knew I wanted to use a fair few of those pinks. Actually, one is a bit more of a really, really light purple. So it's like a pinky purple, but really, really light. Just thought I'd use some of them because that's the idea I had when I pulled out some mixed media stash items. Now, another thing I pulled out from my stash is some washi tape. So I've just pulled out some of the pinky purpley ones. There's this little thin pink one, and I'm just going to add a couple of strips here. I'm thinking that my photo will be in the middle there, to the right, I guess, to the middle right, if that makes sense. Basically where I'm going to put this. This will be underneath my photo layers, was my plan. And my paint's still wet, so I'm just smudging some paint over top of the washi tape so that it blends into the background, not just sits on top like an afterthought. So on with the light purple washi tape, and again smudging some paint on to make it blend in. And then I've just got the three little spots. So I've got that really long one down the middle, one to the left, and then one to the right. And then this one's got some love hearts, and so I'm just ripping off the ones that are like pink and purple tones, and I'm just gonna have a fiddle with that. It takes me a little while to, because it's got a few, it's like a rainbow of hearts, so, but really pastel-y light ones, or matte ones. So it takes me a little bit to realise which colours and where I could use them. And I'm just going to put them on and then smudge a little bit on there. It's just a little bit of point of texture and difference into the background. I didn't want too much to overwhelm the background, but that was just something little extra that I wanted to add. Apparently I didn't edit out washing my hands with a wipe. I don't know what happened there. Very good editing, was it? So, cutting out my photos, I've just got 2 little photos, really nice and bright, of my son Oliver when he had just purchased this rainbow soft llama. So they just pop, you could see that they pop right off the colour there. So that's really nice. But I realised that long washi was in the wrong spot to be able to put the photos in the middle there. So I'm going to move it. And I'm just going to work on the rest of my layout. So first, while it dries a little bit more, I'm going to use this wax paper that isn't very good for cooking. So I've put it in my craft room to back some of the photos. And I thought I'd do a double layer backing, but I really ripped it badly, so it didn't work at all. So instead, I'm just going to stick the photos together, and then I'm going to layer each photo just separately, just so that it has those edges, but also has some ripped tissue paper behind it. So that was really fun. I'm just going to get out my wide double-sided tape so that I don't have to put billions of pieces of the thin stuff on. And it's just as simple as that. So that just gives it a good definition. And I do try to double layer it, but instead couldn't be bothered. It wasn't going to work. And now I'm going to work on the rest of the layering. I pull out the stickers and I pull out the paper to see what's happening. It's where I decide that I'm not going to add any other colour. I'm just going to keep it pink, which, you know, I probably could have thought about it at the beginning, but I really just wanted to have a background. Then I thought I'd put some of all these beautiful colours on top, but instead I decided to go on that monochromatic path and just do some pink. Now I'm just cutting out some of these words, this XOXO I fussy cut, so that I can add it without being so blocky. So that's pretty easy. You can see how quick and easy it is to fussy cut. And it has been really fun to do some fussy cutting lately, not only with embellishments or paper and things like this, but also with the exclusives that we get in the kit as being a subscriber. It's always fun to print them out and have a play with them. So this paper is lots of good words, but also there's lots of nice little fonts and the way they're set out and stuff. It's nice to have them all a little bit different, which is fun. And there was quite a few different tones of pink, so I thought I'd be able to use quite a few of them. I don't use all of those ones, but that's okay because I can use them later. I cut out this card that's from the cut apart sheet, and I'm going to use that as a layering piece for one of the photos. So that just gives that a nice pop of pink there. And then we have this square photo, which I really wouldn't have used in like whole, so I've instead cut it down so that I can add a strip there or a border there. And then I do try to use the other strip at the bottom of the photo, but it's not going to work. So I put it back on the sheet, the sticker sheet, and I'll use it another time. It's going to be a little bit more useful being smaller rather than how big it was before. And here's that's that beautiful mixed media paper that inspired the background that I made. Instead, I'm not going to use any pattern paper. I decided not to add any more. And I'm just going to have a little play. Now there's this beautiful love heart border strip sticker, and as soon as I can get it off, it didn't cut properly in a couple of little spots, so I just had to be a bit careful. But I decided I would use it. That would be a nice little layering piece, especially with the washi going on. And it doesn't look too bad there, but I just don't end up using it. I decide against it. Instead, I decide to get out my stamps and my pink ink pads that I've pulled out of my stash, and I'm going to add these stamps. So I've got the one that says you and you plus me, excuse me, and then I'm going to add it in the clusters, but also have it, so that long cluster I'm going to do some up the top and some down the bottom. The long washi is what I mean. And then I've got those other 2 spots of washi which become the other spots of clusters as well. And it's just something nice. So I've got some that are going horizontal and some vertical as I stamp them. It's just something that, it's just really fun to do, especially as a background. It's just nice to experiment and add some point of difference and something to draw your eye to as you look closer and closer. So just using my eraser to rub over the top of the stamps just to make sure that it's primed. And then I pulled out the lighter pink, and I'm going to use it with this stamp, which I can't remember what it says, and it's too light for me to see in that small square. But just looking at the stamp set, because I could see that, but I can't remember. I love you, maybe. And then I'm going to pull out the love heart and do the same with the two tones of the pink, sorry. And I'm going to stamp that in a few. Again, some horizontal and some vertical. And just have that fun. This pink is really lovely pink. This stamp, actually. This ink, sorry. It's that We Are Memory Keepers, I'm pretty sure. That stack of ink pads. I got it in Advent Calendar one year. Our design team ladies do an advent calendar, and each of us get a partner, and then we swap the big advent, so we got something fun to open, which is it was really, really fun. I love doing it. So on with all the hearts in the world that possible, and then I'm using the light pink. Just had to clean off my stamp a little, and it's going to add that. It's just something nice to brighten the background. So you could do like the stenciling, you could do stamping like this. That's something that will just make the background pop a bit more. Maybe that's what I should do on that original mixed media paper. Do some light stenciling. Food for thought, that's for sure. So, who would have thought that a boy layout would be all pink? There is going to be really nothing else. There's the colours in the photo, obviously, and then I do have some of the embellishments have a little bit of colour to them. So I'm just using my paint pen, just going to fight with it for a moment each time, so I don't make you watch me go around all the hearts, but I'm just adding a loose doodly border to the inside of the heart, so that they stand out a bit more. Round it goes. It'd be nice. I might need to buy a new Signo Uniball pen, because I can never get the white one, I can never get them to work. So maybe it's because I need a new one. It was just a bad one or bad batch or something. I don't know. Anyway, I just got out a thicker paint pen, and I'm just adding, I think I say that quite often, adding some dots and some little crosses to the clusters, just so that it's something else that draws your eye to them and makes them stand out and blend in at the same time. It's like it's part of it. That's what I'm trying to say. Makes it that point of difference. It's really fun to make your own background like this, actually. Adding the paint and then some stamping and then some mark making. It's always a good combination and something fun to explore and experiment with. It's like doing art journaling, but having a photo and doing it on a 12x12 so that you can add it to your scrapbook. It's the best of both worlds. So here's where I'm going to start embellishing. I've got the EXO that I've fussy cut, and I got this Be Mine and the hugs. So they're the ones that are going to stay on there. The other two I'll put away in my really useful box for another layout, and then I'm just going to have a play with these stickers. So pulled out a word one and a flower one, and going to have a look at the die cut embellishments that are in my really useful box to the right of me. And I found this big strawberry, and it doesn't overly have anything to do with the layout, but it's pink and it's going to work there as a nice big cluster piece for the layering. But rather than just keep it for something that might be a bit more relevant, I'd rather use it in something that I know I can use it, rather than it sit there waiting for the right thing and the right thing doesn't come along. At the moment, this is the right thing. I'm just going to stick it down so that I can stick my embellishments down and have the layout come together, rather than piling everything up and then deciding to change it all and then it's not all glued down or it takes forever. So just going to put back these things back on, and then I'm going to add a few more things to make sure my cluster's the way I like it. I'm just going to keep it tight in on the photos, not going to do anything outside of the photo cluster. That way it just makes the background its own, stand out on its own merit, but also then the design, it just works to have it stuck like this. So sorry, I must have been bumping the table a lot because the camera's moving a little. Oh, my glue spilt on the paper. Luckily I just used a baby wipe and glued it up, dried it up. I pulled out some pink flowers, and I'm going to add them on just in some clusters so that it adds a bit more of that colour and interest to the layout. So it's not really like, you don't have to add too much on there at all. But of course I've added heaps in terms of embellishments. There's quite a few, but it's always fun to just have a play, and if it works, stick it down. Don't overthink it, just go, go, go. Because the more you overthink it, the less likely you're going to do it, and then you'll just be like taking forever to do a layout. This one needed a bit more in the embellishments, so in the doodly mark making, so I've added some more, and then I'm going to go around some of these flowers to add some white shadowing to them, just so that they have another pop of interest. They soaked up the paint pens so quickly, actually. The cardstock that they're on obviously had something to do with that, but that's okay because it just gave it a nice different tone rather than it being white sticking out. So I wanted to add a little bit of journaling. My pen's not working. I pull out my Jelly Roll pen. It's also not going to work for me. And instead I revert to a black pen and I write all my journaling, which is not like immense amount, but I'm writing away just in this little pocket here. I thought it might be the right little spot, and it just sticks out like a sore thumb, and it's horrible. There's no other black on the layout. There's no way it suits it at all. So I pull out a paint pen just because it's quicker than pulling out the paint, and I go over it, and because it's a different shade of pink, I go and add some of that paint pen colour to some other spots on the layout. Well, I'm just making sure I cover it so it takes a little bit of liquid. So on goes with the rest of the layout so that it blends in, so it's not just its own colour by itself. And then I've gone over the bottom one where I did the writing with some of the paint pen dots with the white paint pen. And then I'm just adding some of the puffy hearts to finish off the layout. Doesn't need too much at all in terms of like the little embellishments. I didn't pull out any enamel dots or anything. I just like these little different shaped hearts and different pattern pinks and stuff. And that's going to finish off my layout. And then kind of going to finish it off. So hopefully you've enjoyed this video today, and you've enjoyed the close-ups that are coming up. Hope it's inspired you to create. Have a great day. Bye.